We see fighting game characters use all parts of their body, arms, legs, even the head. However, there's one part of the body no one expects, the butt. If you got muscles back there or just want some comedic effect, why don't you use it? And I apparently wasn't the only one feeling that way, since when I polled my viewers on 4 potential fighting game topics, butts won to no one's surprise, so great job community. As a result, let's look at some butt fighters, for lack of a better term. These fighting game characters simply have to have an attack that utilizes their rear. Obviously, the more creative the better, and multiple attacks with the butt get my attention more, but as long as they have one, they're eligible. However, only one character per series of origins since there were a lot of options. So which brawlers battle booties best? Who are the gluteal gladiators giving galactic gains? What righteous rears rank right? These are the top 10 butt fighters in fighting games. Number 10, Tina Armstrong from Dead or Alive. Tina has a move called the jumping hip attack, where she leaps at her opponent butt first for impact. This is the most common type of butt maneuver among users on this list, so get ready to see plenty of variations of this attack. Being a Texan cowgirl wrestler, her whole moveset is made up of hard-hitting strikes and grabs, so the butt move blends into her combos as another heavy hit. This move got an upgraded version in Dead or Alive 6 with Tina's super move. It's pretty much the same, but it gets some extra fanfare leading up to the big hit. When the opponent is in super move stun, she showboats for a bit and then delivers a decisive single ass slam to the face, which gets a slowdown effect as it impacts with the opponent's head. And depending on the circumstances, you get a nice close-up on your opponent's face for maximum comedy. I love how melodramatic everyone looks in reaction to getting hit by her butt. Look at some of these faces. Though that is likely mostly muscle they're getting hit with, so pain is a realistic reaction. Still, look at it, you can't take it seriously. Good job, Tina. Number 9, Majin Buu in Dragon Ball FighterZ. I'm sure Majin Buu has done a butt attack in many games, but I'm focusing on Dragon Ball FighterZ where he has the dive bomb. He slams himself down on the opponent butt first, and if it connects, he sits on them and delivers a short beatdown followed by him kicking them away. Unlike most entries on this list, the butt in this attack is more of a tool to hold the opponent in place. It still does some damage on its own, but he mainly needs it so he can pummel the opponent without them moving around. Plus it hits the opponent overhead, which is always a positive in a fighting game for me. Also, when I see this attack, I think of the Tim and Eric bit when they sing, "This is what I do, I sit on you." This attack is based on a scene from the manga and anime where Buu wraps Majin Vegeta in a piece of his own body and then proceeds to land on him while unleashing a beatdown that goes on for much longer than the video game attack does. Despite the humor in this, and just the humor of Buu in general, this scene plays it seriously. It's a horrifyingly brutal beatdown where Vegeta even coughs up blood by the end. You can also follow up the butt beatdown in the game with the body wrap as another reference to this scene, and once again, it seems kinda funny until you're on the receiving end. So go ahead, laugh at Majin Buu's goofiness all you want, but once he lands on you, you're not getting away until he wants you to. Number 8, Bridget from Guilty Gear. Bridget has a whole tool set with a yo-yo and possessed teddy bear, yet all I need to focus on is a single command normal. By pressing forward heavy strike or diagonal down forward punch in the Guilty Gear XX games, she does a flying butt attack. Despite it not having the impact or flair of a special move, this single butt is one of her best tools. It's great for the middle of combos to keep the offense going, it's great for starting combos since it can catch grounded and airborne opponents, and it's great against blocking opponents since you can cancel it into other attacks for block strings. It can even jump over attacks that are low enough. For a funny looking move, it does some heavy lifting overall in her moveset. That was the only butt attack in Guilty Gear Strive for her, but in the Guilty Gear XX games, her throw also incorporates an ass slam in the middle of it after the opponent is thrown on the ground, and she has this animation where she goes to throw her yo-yo, but it gets stuck on her clothes or her belt for a comedic butt pose. Also, that belt is a handcuff, which has always been my favorite part of her design. Oh, but the walking the dog yo-yo animation for her, that's good too. Maybe that's my favorite. I'll just save talking about that when when I cover yo-yo fighters eventually. Wait, I've already done that. I'll just save talking about that when I cover teddy bear fighters eventually.
Slap!
Number 7, Squiggly from Skullgirls. One move gets squiggly on this list, and as I said in another video, when a girl walks in with an itty-bitty waist and a round thing in your face, you get sprung, as in Squiggly springs the opponent off screen in exchange for their teammate. This is called a snapback, which is a move that every character in the game can do and it does no damage, but when it connects, it forces your opponent to tag out for another teammate of your choosing. All characters have a cool animation for this attack, but what makes Squiggly's snapback so famous was the booty pose she does while doing it, alongside her serpentine parasite Leviathan forming a spring shape to bounce out the opponent. At its peak, she has her lower half extended out as far as it can go with an incredibly funny face. I have no idea if this is a reference to anything or if it's just a thing that she does, but I respect it. And during this, Leviathan does the dat ass meme face, which I'll just say, if you know it, great. If you don't know it, you probably don't need to. With Skullgirls initially coming out in 2012 and building upon the original game up until today, it has a lot of millennial memes in it, which is great for me, but is likely outdated humor for younger generations picking it up now.
You can has cheeseburger. That's racist!
Anyway, the combination of all these factors can be admired since there's a quick freeze frame right after the startup of this snapback, sealing in the iconicness of this move. Plus, I like the implication that her butt plus Leviathan is so strong, it sends the opponent flying several dozen feet, and then it has the gravitational pull to drag another opponent in, or maybe that's all the parasite's doing. Either way, good job, team.
Have a seat. Ready? Don't waste that talent.
Number 6, Sandman from Fighting Vipers. Fighting Vipers is a pretty obscure Sega fighting game that's kinda like Virtua Fighter, but features a lot of characters that look like they're at the roller derby, also a Jotaro clone. The game's pretty fun. I like that it has physics that let you fling your opponent far for wall bounces, so it's got some flair to it. Sandman is the big guy of the roster who uses a scooter as his transportation, and when he needs an opener or a closer attack in a fight, he uses the butt. It's mixed in there. I don't know what his fighting style is supposed to be, but he gets most aggressive when the booty is involved. For a nice combo starter or something in the middle or just a hard strike, he's got the classic butt bounce, where he puts his whole body into it. You can also charge up attacks in this game, meaning this attack gets supercharged to show your opponent your glute workout. And on that he also has a butt slam from above, which works as a combo finisher. When you knock your opponent down, you leap in the air and land on them with the butt going all WWE smackdown on him. Also to note, his grounded butt attack uses the same animation as another character in the game, Honey, or Candy as she was called in the US version, who was my character of choice whenever I played Fighting Vipers. It's pretty much the same thing, only Honey is doing it now, and since I've played her more, I can say from personal experience, I always find it funny when you get the final hit with the butt attack, since the opponent bounces around the stage like crazy. I feel Honey is the more memorable butt user in the game since, well, she's Honey, everyone loves her, but I felt compelled to give this entry to Sandman since he had one extra butt attack to my knowledge, and his use of the butt was a bit more unexpected.
Sun wins!
Number 5, Katana from Mortal Kombat. Ever since the dawn of Mortal Kombat, there's been the square wave punch. It's an attack where the user flies straight up and then turns 90 degrees to deliver the punch. It was first seen on Sonya, then Katana when Sonya was off the roster of Mortal Kombat 2, then Sonya again when Katana was off the roster of Mortal Kombat 3, but eventually they appeared on the same rosters starting in Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, so now we just had two characters with the same move, which you know, it happens. But come Mortal Kombat 2011, aka Mortal Kombat 9, the devs wanted to bring back the classic moves while differentiating them, so both square wave punches were changed to not even be punches at all anymore. Sonya's became an arc kick, and Katana, for the topic of this video, kept the 90 degrees, but now she propels herself into the opponent using her fans, and faces away from them so she rear ends them for the hit. Technically, you could say say she was just using her back for this attack, but whenever my friend who mained Katana used this move, she would sing something like, "I'ma hit you with my butt, hit you with my butt," so I've always defaulted to the butt for this attack, and we ended up being right, since by Mortal Kombat 11, it explicitly shows that Katana's square wave is a full-on butt attack, specifically with her crushing blow. Crushing blow is a mechanic where if you connect with one of various attacks after fulfilling a requirement, it initiates a close-up x-ray of that move showing internal damage to your opponent, meaning it has some sort of side effect, like more overall damage or bouncing them for a combo opportunity. The crushing blow for square wave breaks your opponent's face, with a clear close-up on Katana's butt doing the heavy lifting there, so that means that this is a bone-breaking butt. In the following game, Mortal Kombat 1, one of her combo strings incorporates the fan-propelled butt attack with a move that's not the square wave, so the booty hit lives on via another method now. Final note, this maneuver apparently runs in the family, as Mortal Kombat 11 added a combo string to her mother Sindel, where she flies into the opponent butt first, with the ability to also turn it into a crushing blow for more skull-shattering action. That being said, Katana was the first to do it on screen, so she gets credit as the originator. Number 4. Yuri Sakazaki from Art of Fighting and the King of Fighters. Yuri has a simple butt attack, but she maximizes its value. Ever since her roster debut in Art of Fighting 2, she's had the attack Enyoku, where she flings herself forward with the butt out for a single hit, though she puts her heart and soul into this one hit. She extends her butt out as far as she can, stretches her arms for aerodynamics, and has the most intense look on her face, especially in Art of Fighting 2. She looks so mad, like you forced her to do this. Funny enough, she does a similar pose when she does her fireball. She's very butt-centric with her poses. However, this move reached its peak with her super move. Her Chao Ryuko Ranbu is not seen often, but it premiered in the King of Fighters 2002 Unlimited match. It features a quick barrage of punches and kicks in rapid succession with no breaks, but when it comes to a single butt hit in the middle, she takes her sweet time to do the full animation, like super speed for everything else, but we need a breather, so here's some comic relief. Okay, comic relief done. Back to the beatdown. While this super move is conceptually funny, they really dial up the comedy for this super in the King of Fighters 14 and 15, especially 15. Same idea where it's a barrage of hits, only with cinematic angle hits that immediately cut to a new hit in the blink of an eye, and they interlude every few hits with a taunt. The first taunt is a peace sign, but the relevant taunt for this list is the butt pat, which is hilarious on its own, but they add a bongo sound effect for each pat. I'm sorry, but funny butt slap sound effects are easy laughs for me, and the bongo sound is top tier for that effect, so I consider this peak humor. I think what also makes the butt taunt funny is it's almost like a threat since she uses that butt for attacks, like she's saying, "This will be the tool of your undoing, pat pat." Anyway, she gets an extra Enyoku for one of these super move hits, and after ending it with her uppercut, she gives the camera a thumbs up with yet another butt pose. That's 3 butt-related things in this super move. I think that deserves recognition. So shoutouts to Yuri. The years of intense karate training were just as important as those glute workouts.
Player 1 wins!
Number 3. Princess Peach in Super Smash Bros. One of Princess Peach's biggest moves within the Smash Bros. Series is her renowned Peach Bomber. She creates some momentum and goes ha-cha as she flies through the air ass first with a trail of hearts behind her, and if it connects, you get a bigger heart. No one knows why she does this. She never did it in any Mario games prior to its introduction. She was still playable in other games a few times before her first Smash Bros. Appearance, so I think she just does this for the love of the game, and possibly because Smash Bros. Creator Sakurai liked King of Fighters and was thinking of Yuri when designing this moveset. But regardless, being a famous video game character who has done this in every one of her Smash Bros. Appearances, the Peach Bomber became one of the most recognizable butt attacks in fighting games. games. And because Princess Daisy is Peach's Echo Fighter, meaning they basically have the same moveset, she got her own version of the Peach Bomber, expectedly called the Daisy Bomber, with flower effects instead of hearts. Also, have you ever paused on them as they're flying through the air? It makes you realize how much they really have to contort their body to turn their caboose into a deadly weapon. Like, I know this isn't real life, but it looks like their hips aren't even connected during the animation. That's not a criticism, I'm just observing way more than I'm meant to. Peach, and by extension Daisy, are my most played characters in Smash Bros, and my motto is, when in doubt, Peach Bomber and hope it connects, or I just hit him with the golf club. Number 2, Rainbow Mika from Street Fighter. Mika is pretty much the face of butt attacks, even though she is basically just known for one maneuver. However, the bombastic nature of how she does it, along with just being an over-the-top wrestler in a flashy outfit, makes her so memorable. And she premiered after Yuri Sakazaki, so she had some competition. Mika's iconic move in question is the Flying Peach, where she turns around, leaps backwards, and lets the butt do the rest of the work. She also has a similar move, Shooting Peach, where she turns around immediately, so less startup, but the trade-off is when the attack is over, she needs time to recover since she accidentally hurts her butt a bit. It's an important tool, so she needs to tend to those wounds immediately. And for an upgraded version, she has a move where she does a few punches first and then ends it with a Peach attack, sometimes two depending on the command. This is just an enhanced move of the Peach in Street Fighter V, while being a full-on super move in her premier game Street Fighter Alpha 3. And I like how the startup animation of the super is just her about to do the Flying Peach, but she floats around in mid-air for a second and then proceeds to first do her punches instead. Once again, it's as if she's sending out a warning sign, like, "This butt shall be your fate in a matter of seconds." As for the rest of her attacks, the butt is more subtly involved. She has plenty of attacks where she leaps in the air and then takes advantage of gravity, but in doing so, she uses her butt for downwards momentum or pushes the opponent down with it, so it depends how observant you are to see all these. Her butt basically turns into a missile flying down. Finally, for her other super moves, Alpha has some supers where she summons a wrestling ring to bounce off of, which have some butt-themed follow-ups, but the super that shows its max power is the Street Fighter V super. I went over it on my fighting game duos list, but in Street Fighter V, Mika has a tag partner named Nadeshiko. She comes out for Mika's special skills and enhanced moves, so for the super, they really tag team it up. Mika throws the opponent over to Nadeshiko, who then throws them upwards, and they cinematically catch the opponent's head between their butts and slam down while holding the opponent's head there the whole time. It very much maximizes the topic of this list. Two extra details I like with this super are 1, when they pump their fists when they're going down as if they're giving each other the signal to go for the finisher, and 2, when the super initiates, you can hear an audible slap noise as Mika slaps her bum off screen. And I know in her character trailer before the game came out, they showed the smack happening on camera, but I still find a bit of comedy in how as soon as her hand goes off screen, you hear that slap noise. Anyway, Rainbow Mika. You come for the butt attacks, but you stay for, well, still the butt attacks, but now from a mechanical standpoint. Okay, it was way too close of a call on these, so I'm doing honorable mentions, but really, some of these are interchangeable with the entries. First off, Honey and Sindel were mentioned in other entries, so they definitely belong here. Next, Janae, specifically in Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. It's a counter where she uses her butt. Gotta be honest, I wasn't even thinking of this one since this move is newer than every other attack on the list, but now that I've seen it about 100 times, I'm like, okay, maybe I should have put her on the list. She does her lean forward, and if the opponent hits her during this, she gives you a hard smack with her rear, and the pose and facial expression while she does it is hilarious. She knows what she's doing, she's being cheeky about it.
Come on!
Wait!
Beautiful victory!
Honda from Street Fighter. If Mika is number 2 on this list, then Honda would have been number 3 if there wasn't that 1 per series of origin rule, since he's been butt slamming since 1991, and he also sits on you quite aggressively for a command grab. Look at him do a reverse swan dive for his sumo smash. And in Street Fighter 6, he says, "Here's some beef," when he does the enhanced throw where he sits on you. What does he mean by that? I like it, but what does he mean?
Here's some beef!
Kisara Westfield from Aggressors of Dark Combat. Somehow I've spoken about her in 2 other videos already. Check out my second disrespectful super move list, since she has one of the most unique supers in fighting games. Anyway, for this topic, she has Hip Bazooka, where she does a forward flip with the intent for a butt slam. This attack is so memorable for me because I like the way she yells Hip Bazooka, Hip Bazooka when you spam the attack over and over.
Hip bazooka! Hip bazooka! Hip bazooka! Hip bazooka!
Cassandra from Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur has always had incidental butt attacks, where it feels more unintentional that the butt is involved, but Cassandra's critical finish in Soul Calibur 4 acknowledges those types of moves in one of the weirdest supers I've seen. She does a forward butt slam in the middle, then a downwards one when the opponent is on the ground, and then she fakes getting up only to slam back down for the final hit, and each butt hit produces a heart. I feel like when she slams back down, her motion is sped up. Something about this movement is funny to me. She also says, "You like this kind of stuff?" in the middle, which is definitely a good, no comment moment.
Come on! You like this kind of stuff?
Asuka from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighter. She's an original character made for this game, so fittingly, she's a kunoichi, but for some reason, they gave her a butt attack. Not sure why someone thought she needed to be in a fighting game based on the Ninja Turtles, but hey, the more the merrier. Earthquake from Samurai Showdown. He creates an earthquake with his butt. Hugo from Street Fighter. His crouching heavy kick is a flying butt attack. That's not the first thing I would have thought to give him, but sure. Anna Williams from Tekken. Wow, she does an Ojo-sama laugh for a win pose and a butt attack? I've been downplaying how much I should like this character. And a lot more. I knew this was a somewhat common attack method in fighting games, but I was not expecting to have enough to create another list in the honorable mentions plus more. Maybe if the video does well, I'll consider a sequel. Who knows? But one more for the road, Luong from the King of Fighters. She cracks your neck rather painfully in her ultimate, but then gently tips you over to end it with a sit-on-you pose. I like that you see the health bar go down a little on the landing to confirm that this indeed does damage.
Whoa, this is gonna hurt! Can they slide? KO! Player 1 wins!
それで全力かしら
For number 1, it was an obvious choice for me. This character has the most unique butt-themed attacks I've ever seen in fighting games, and quite frankly, they're the funniest, so comedy is king, as is number 1, Victor from Darkstalkers. For longtime viewers, you know how much I love Victor. He's been on like 5 other lists, and no matter the topic, I feel compelled to bring up his uses of ass. So for a list themed around it, I don't even need a segue to bring them up. Victor is an obvious Frankenstein's monster parody, only his creator, Dr. Gurdenheim, made Victor to show off the advancements in the medical field with no ulterior motives. Following the doctor's death, Victor sought to protect Gurdenheim's other experiment, Emily, who is a young girl who's powered by electricity. Victor is trying to find a way to keep her powered on, even if it means self-sacrifice by using his own electricity. Though the spirits of the doctor and Emily still follow Victor when he fights, so he's never alone. Victor is a grappler who fights with electricity, and more importantly for this topic, enhancing all parts of his body. His arms, legs, and even his head can be enhanced with the power of, well, we don't know. Dr. Gurdenheim had some strange ideas. But you know the topic of this list. What's his butt gonna do? Well, to start, he has 3 right off the bat. For his basic moveset, all of his kicks are butt bounces, but only when close up to the opponent. Otherwise, they're just kicks. The light kick is a little cheek poke with a timid finger pose, which is actually one of his least effective moves, so best not to use this one. The medium has him turn around towards the camera, and he does this arm motion that I don't even know how to describe. And the heavy is a much stronger hit, where the ass jiggles, and it's one of the most unexpected animations that always gets me to laugh. Also on hit, he electrifies all these ass moves, showing that the electricity truly is coursing through his entire body. Not only can Victor resize his cheeks, but they can take a different shape, just one to my knowledge. He turns them into hands, then uses them to grab his opponent with his hand-shaped cheeks, and throws them away with some reused animations from the kicks. And that leads to his ultimate butt attack. Not just his, but the ultimate butt attack in all fighting games. This is what I cover in every video Victor is in, and it even got a solo entry on my command grab supers list. So there's nothing new I can say, but it's just so glorious. In this super, he grabs his opponent with his ass hands, summons the souls of Emily and the Doctor, and then the Doctor proceeds to zap electricity into the opponent while Victor pulsates for a bit with the finger pose, and finally he tosses them away after they're properly zapped. It's so amusing, I just can't help it. I mainly want to know who thought of making a Frankenstein's monster who grabs people with his butt. Those are two things I never would have thought to combine, or even just thinking of the ass hands in general. And I'm asking in and out of universe, why did the Doctor include this in his creation that was allegedly related to the medical field? And how did the creators of Darkstalkers come up with this for a character? I know Darkstalkers is a series with a succubus that has mech parts, a Little Red Riding Hood bounty hunter, and a strangely attractive fish man, but Victor's malleable butt has always been the weirdest thing in the series to me, yet also the funniest. So for the matchless ways Victor uses his butt, and for having the funniest super in fighting games depending on the day you ask me, Victor gets the honor of being the best butt user in fighting games. Now, what did you think? Did I choose these butts wisely, or did I waste the potential of some other rightful rears? And who are some of your favorite fighting game booties, whether I discussed them or not? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video.